Get over to Detour Dan in the Valley Chevy Dealers Traffic Center. Quiet for the most part. Got a couple issues, all right?
That's absolutely right. But one of those issues, I don't want to give you the wrong impression. One of those items is a really big deal. And I heard John just telling you about it a few minutes ago. Southbound 17 at Indian School. This was an earlier wreck that got moved off to the right. You'd think no big deal. I just looked at the ride time for this. I mean, it's solid slowing, and things are just starting to kind of make a move to come back.
And I just stalled out. Nice.
It says that we are over 62 minutes in ride time from Northern down to the 10-stack interchange. This is like slowing solid all the way back from Dunlap to Indian School. That is a parking lot. You may want to get with 19th Avenue, 27th Avenue, and just not re-enter the freeway until you get south of Indian School. Then you'd be good to go. There's no additional problem there. Eastbound I-10, you got some early morning brake lights as well from 107th Avenue into 27th Avenue. But not, like I said, not a lot of trouble in the way of wrecks, just that earlier stall. I-10 eastbound near 27th Avenue, and that is off to the left. Vehicle fire, 113th Avenue and Grand Avenue. This traffic report brought to you by Connecticut Water. Strike out hard water with Connecticut. Protect your home.
All right, they're supposed to give us an update on the court order regarding the zone and the city of Phoenix having to clean it up.
We'll start your Tuesday with mostly sunny skies, then clearing out and heating up. We'll reach 81 degrees this afternoon, with lows tonight in the mid-50s. I'm ABC 15 meteorologist Jorge Torres.
At 6:03, it is 50 degrees in Carefree.
It's Tuesday, March 28th.
That's the judge's order for the city of Phoenix. It has less than 4 months to disband and find a solution for the zone. The homeless encampment that has overtaken several blocks of downtown. KTAR's Jim Cross is live with more.
Yeah, Jamie, KTAR host and Valley attorney Barry Markson says the judge ordered Phoenix to not only clear the zone on the block south of Jefferson between 9th and 13th Avenues, but also have a plan in place by the 10th of July that will help businesses and property owners and the people living in the encampment.
The plaintiffs argued to the court that the city allowed the zone to be maintained in this area. They didn't do anything to break it down. They basically let it stay there as a small mini homeless town and allowed crimes to occur there on a daily or hourly basis.
Now, the court also noted the vast majority of those living at the zone are service resistant, meaning many refuse to accept financial and housing services. Live in the News Center, Jim Cross, KTAR News.
Wildfire season in Arizona is just weeks away.
Governor Katie Hobbs has an important reminder about wildfires.
Most wildfires are caused by people, so it's critical that we are all doing our part to prevent them.
It may seem like common sense, but she reminds all Arizonans to think twice about fire.
On days when burning outdoors is safe, always have a water source and shovel nearby. Never pull your vehicle off the road and into tall vegetation.
Now,
Always put your campfire
one thing they're not mentioning in the news coverage regarding the court order of the zone, and I missed the date. I know he said the date, but I missed it. It seems like it was sometime in July. They got to have it sorted out by July. Wow, somebody lane splitting on a motorcycle. I don't think that's legal in Arizona. I don't think that guy right there in front of me on the motorcycle cares, but
so we can expect high fire activity, erratic fire behavior, really increase in long-term severe conditions with large type growth fires.
so I'm kind of curious how this court order that just came out yesterday is going to jive with the court order that came out of the federal district court regarding the city of Phoenix not throwing away things that belong to homeless people in the zone, because that was an issue earlier this year where they were doing cleanups, not disbanding the giant homeless encampment there, but they were cleaning like bits and pieces of it. They basically scoot everybody down the line, kind of power wash it, throw the garbage away. And I'm pretty sure I've linked some videos in the past to footage by local news channels of that happening. And somebody filed an action in federal district court on behalf of the homeless people, basically saying that they were violating their rights by throwing their stuff away. So they were given the city of Phoenix was given a court order that they couldn't do that. So I'm kind of curious what they're going to do to balance compliance with that order and the compliance with the order that just came out of the Superior Court regarding having to completely clean up that encampment, or not clean up the encampment, but rather disband the encampment. Now, they haven't said anything about the city of Phoenix appealing. I fully expect that the city of Phoenix is probably going to appeal it, possibly based upon the, and nobody else is giving this interpretation of it yet, but I expect the city of Phoenix is probably going to appeal, it, and probably, I would imagine in their brief, strongly rely on what has happened in federal court regarding the area. Oh my gosh, my camera is twitching worse than ever. Sorry, I just looked at the screen and it's just it's just a psychedelic mess. Sorry about my camera, it's whack. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay over the loud buzzing twitching of the camera. Yeah, I really need to try to get my Success Plus reactivated so I can shoot video with it. But right now money is crazy tight. Yeah, my biggest priority right now is getting my rent covered. I am concerned I'm not going to have enough to get it covered by the 1st. I'll certainly have enough to get it covered by the 5th. I might need to talk to my property manager about that. I forget how much of a grace period I have with it before I start getting hit with late fees, because I'm usually pretty diligent about paying it a few days early. But yeah, the insurance on this car just set me back so much, and there have been other things coming up, and some of them are like, oh yeah, duh, I knew this expense was coming, like my internet. I get the email from Cox telling me that my internet bill is due. I'm just like, oh yeah, duh. Like I don't know when, as if I don't know when that one comes up due, right? And I use their automated call-in system to make the payment, which was infinitely more user-friendly than the Costco Visas. Phone number that I called for help with, which I was ranting and raving about that last weekend on one of my vlogs. It really was frustrating, like just how their I guess I got no headlights on at all. Neither does that guy. Yeah, it was really frustrating how their automation just couldn't figure out, couldn't identify me by phone number, couldn't figure out how to proceed when I couldn't answer the last 4 digits of my credit card number, and even when I touch toned in my social security number and it confirmed that somehow that wasn't enough to get me through. But anyway, I digress. That got taken care of. In fact, I just got an email from them saying that my new card is on the way, so that's a good thing. So finally, I'll have my last name correct on the card. But yeah, Cox is their phone customer service really is an example of. Ooh, that's where I wanted to turn left. Whoops. Their phone customer service is a really good example of that being done correctly. I mean, it recognized my phone number on the customer on the caller ID. There was an automated thing, asking if this is the number associated with my account. I pressed yes. At one point, they did ask for a 4-digit PIN. Not going to be confused with the last 4 digits of my account, which I won't remember, but it's a number that I use on various things. And I think I had to try twice because I have more than one of those kind of numbers I use. But I got it on the second guess. So then there's a golf cart on the sidewalk. I think that's illegal. And then the next, yeah, I never did have to talk to a person. I mean, I made it to get the payment done completely through the automation. Yeah, at that point it was like that was enough to identify it as me calling from my account. I didn't have to give them the account number. I didn't have to do anything complicated. Like, it just identified me by caller ID and identified it was the person authorized to do it by putting in a PIN number. And at that point, it gave me like a short menu, and I forget what it was, but one of them was payments, and I went into that, and then it said what my amount was due, and that it was due today, which was yesterday, or maybe it was the day before. might have been the day before. In fact, yeah, actually it was the day before. I did it while I was at work last night during one of my breaks. But well, that was awkward. Like, I'm stopped right now so as to not block the intersection that's right in front of me, because the truck in front of me pretty much comes to the end of where the intersection stops. The intersection with, I believe, the Osborne Avenue. I can't see what it is. No, it says Grand Avenue. It actually says Grand Avenue. It's the Grand Avenue Frontage Road on the right. But yeah, the other lane on the right wouldn't have been obstructing that lane. So the guy that stopped definitely had the right of way to keep going straight, which was probably awkward for the. Probably kind of awkward for the truck that's turning left. Anyway, everybody made it through that. It wasn't that big of a deal. I just thought the whole way that went down was a little awkward. That's all. Anyway, I'm on my way to really low on fuel, so I'm on my way to Costco. What they call the Costco Business Center, which is right here at 33rd and Grand. I'm thinking I didn't want to turn in this way. No, I really didn't want to turn in this way. I've made this mistake before. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they open their gas pumps at 6 a.m. It's 6:15 right now. And they yeah, I tried to come by here and get gas after I dropped Malika off yesterday, which I'm not sure I really want to talk about that yet. Yesterday was kind of let's just say she's going through some rough times, and yeah, we both just kind of spilled a lot of information about stuff to each other, so it was sort of unexpected, but I feel like I helped her out, bailed her out, and got her out of a tough situation when what she really needed was a ride. So she helped me out with a little gas money. Probably not enough to cover the gas that I burned, but you know, whatever. It was good. It was time well spent, and I wanted to get gas. I was really low on gas after that. Wanted to get gas here yesterday, and I finally got to experience that line that everyone's like, "Oh God, it's a waste of time and money going to get gas at Costco," because the line was completely to 33rd Avenue. Backed up across the parking lot, and then there was a backup on 33rd Avenue. Like, it was an effort to go around the backup on 33rd Avenue just to say, oh yeah, no, hell no, and just continue on to Grand. Anyway, I will be right back, and I'm gonna make sure to shoot video with the Obamaphone, because this looks unbelievably bad, and you're probably having trouble hearing me over the noise of the camera twitching.
Arizona Department of Corrections tells KTAR, quote, Narcan is routinely used for an inmate who is found unresponsive, end quote. In an exclusive interview with KTAR, Governor Katie Hobbs believes the department needs to see severe reform.
Just changing the name to the Department of Corrections Rehabilitation and Reentry doesn't change the culture.
KTAR will continue to investigate this story. Taylor Kinnerup, KTAR News.
You can read the full story at KTAR.com and tune in tomorrow for more of our exclusive interview with Governor Katie Hobbs on the alleged drug use inside Arizona prisons. Coming up, the latest developments in the mass shooting at a private...
I wish I'd have caught more of that story, because that sounded kind of interesting, but I didn't. I heard about as much as y'all heard there. So just tried calling Costco credit cards customer service again. It just blows my mind how awkward that phone number is to use. You know, and it seems like I used it in the past and it wasn't so difficult. But yeah, so I had my card handy, so I didn't have a problem saying what my last 4 digits of my card was. But I was trying to just check what my available credit is, because I know I've kind of got that one sort of down to the wire at the moment, and wanted to top off my tank, and I think even the way that that card usually works with Costco is that regardless of how much gas I get, it initially does a pre-authorization for, I don't know, I think $50 or something like that. So I wanted to make sure that I had that much available credit, and I didn't. But I had no problem getting to that part, although it just seemed to be longer and tedious. Like, fortunately, there was nobody behind me waiting to get gas, or that would have been like kind of rude and awkward of me sitting there at the pump trying to figure that out. But yeah, just trying to sort. Just, I don't know. It just seemed like a bunch of just needless prompts trying to. And needless blah, blah, blah from the automated voice, trying to get to the point where it just told me what my balances and available credit were. And then I tried to do the thing to make a payment, and it asked if I wanted to use if I wanted to use a debit card or a checking account. Checking account, because I've got that card tied to one of my checking accounts, where it just does, if I don't make any additional payments throughout the month, if I don't make enough payments on it, it'll take the minimum necessary payment so I don't get a late fee or anything directly out of my bank account. So that bank account is associated with it. And with most cards that I have, if I have that sort of thing going on and I want to make a payment, it just asks, do you want to use the checking account that you usually use? I say yes, and then it asks how much, and I say how much, and it processes the payment. I hang up, I'm done with it. Nice and easy. But yeah, it's, I don't know, it just seems like it was asking more questions than needed, and it's like, I see we have one on file, blah, blah, blah. And then it asks the last 4 digits of the checking account number. As if I know that. And off the top of my head, I can't even remember exactly which account is associated with it. I just know that both accounts have enough to cover the size of a payment I was wanting to make, which wouldn't have been a very big one, just enough to make sure I had no problem getting gas. Anyway, at that point, I just hung up. Like, this is freaking ridiculous. And every time I get behind a Kia, I'm reminded of that girl that I hang out with sometimes at work in the Northside break room named Kia. I saw her today. I should say she saw me. I didn't see her. I did kind of go to that break room hoping I would see her, and I didn't see her. And then she said hi as she was on her way out, so we didn't even get to chat or nothing. I really want to ask her out. She's super cute and super friendly. Anyway, sorry to see Kia in front of me, and it makes me think of her. And I did see her today. Every time I see her, she's like super, super sweet to me. So, or maybe at least ask for her phone number. So we can send stupid texts back and forth throughout the day. Anyhow, as I was saying, yeah, I just hung up on it, and it's like, well, fuck it. Let me just see if I can. I'll just try and pump gas and see if it'll let me do it. Now, that card does every now and then let me go over my credit limit. I don't think it's ever charged me a surcharge for doing that. So, of course, every time I've done it, I usually get an email like the day that it happens to let me know that I'm over my limit. And I generally just shoot a payment through. Or it's really close to like my minimum payment going through, and they just add whatever the end minimum payment is, and then they add the additional whatever I went over my limit. And it's never really an issue. Okay, this is not the backup I want to be stuck in here. You know, actually, this is the direction I went yesterday when, after I dropped off Malika, as I mentioned, and I was going to get gas there, and the line was just so ridiculously long. I've never seen it that long at that particular Costco. But to be fair, I hardly ever go to that Costco around that time of the day. I want to say it was about 1 in the afternoon-ish. And so yeah, I just did exactly the route I'm on here. Came out 33rd to Grand with the flyovers, going over 43rd. That's a really quick little thing there that not a lot of people use, but where you go up and over 27th and Thomas, and then over I-17. But then you hit the light here. You're going to get stuck at the light here at 19th and McDowell, which is always kind of a long light. But, well, yeah, the backup to turn right onto 19th, which is the reason the right lane is so backed up right now compared to this lane and the lane to the left, it was significantly worse. And there's a way to get around that, which I'm going to do in a moment here. So I'm going to try to. For some reason, my iPhone, the internet through Mint Mobile is being really wonky today, and it's not refreshing. Not refreshing Google Maps. I don't know what the deal is with it. I don't think I've overused my data, because usually when I've used up my data, I get a text message from Mint telling me, and I get a warning when I'm getting low on it. So, but yeah, trying to look at the traffic view on the iPhone is about useless right now. But when I checked it, when I was at the Costco gas station, right before I left, right before I started shooting video, it was it showed I-10 pretty much clear without traffic, heading east of 19th Avenue. So do this little trick here, like I did yesterday early afternoon, to avoid that backup turning right from Grand to 19th. And then make a nice, quick, easy left. And then left onto the freeway. I don't think I was really supposed to use that lane as a through lane, but the guy in front of me did it, so whatever. Just flowing with traffic. I was thinking about doing India. Oh my goodness, sun in my face. Oh damn. Well, that just about completely blinded me. I definitely underestimated how much traffic there would be on this ramp. And it's metered, of course. So one thing I did see looking at the Obamaphone for the traffic is, like I said, the iPhone right now, it's just not, the data is being uncooperative, and it's not updating my traffic view. So I did it with the Obamaphone, and I checked to see if maybe, just maybe, it would be quicker to leave Costco and take Indian School to I-17, and then I-17 through the stack onto the 10. And I thought it might be, but no, it was still quite a bit of congestion. Oh, and the one accident that was mentioned in Detour Dan's traffic report earlier on the southbound I-17. Yeah, now there's 2 accidents on the southbound I-17. Oh my Lord. Wow. The sun in my face is making it so hard to see the vehicles in front of me and anything else. I prefer to be closer to home when the sun comes over the horizon, but I did absolutely need to stop and get gas. I mean, I don't know. I probably had enough to go get gas at the Costco by home, but yeah, it seemed like a good time to get off the I-10 because the traffic was really bad. But anyway, it's done. Traffic's not so bad right now here on the 10. It's just that glare of the sun at the angle it's at is doing bad things with my eyes. Anyway, yeah, so I-17 has grown to 2 accidents southbound, and it's backed up all the way past Glendale Avenue southbound. But sometimes when there's an accident like that, and I feel a little guilty when I do it, but sometimes if I can get on the freeway after where the accident is, it's just smooth sailing on the freeway because the accident is holding back all the traffic that would normally be there. But for some reason that wasn't working on the 17, which is fine. The route I did got me onto I-10 fairly quick, even with the slowdown on the meter ramp there. It's amazing how much worse the traffic gets after 6:30 a.m. compared to 5:30 a.m. Still less aggravating than riding the bus, though, and less time consuming. Oh gosh, I figured what else I was going to talk about. Oh, I am tired though. Yeah, yesterday was kind of not a good one for sleep. I fell asleep like right after I got home from work, like almost immediately after getting home from work, and I came home from work pretty quickly. And I fell asleep about as quick as I just came in, went to bed, was asleep just like that. Oh, I'm about to be right back in the sun. Dang. Of course, all these people in the right lane zipping past me, and that lane ends. So they're going to all be trying to just push in front of me. American drivers absolutely do not know how to zipper merge. That wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Oh, look at the traffic view. I wasn't expecting this much traffic on this part of I-10, though. We're at it. Probably taking surface streets across. Shit, I think even Thomas would have been less annoying than this. Yeah, I'm not sure what time I woke up. I want to say about 10, which is not an unusual time for me to be going to sleep. And yeah, not sure exactly why I woke up at that point in time, but I woke up and there was, I was just awake, just restless and awake. And that's when I got the text message from, just kind of unexpectedly got the text message from Malika. We started kind of texting each other about stuff. I ended up spending about 2 hours with her. So without going into too much detail, her living arrangement is absolutely nothing like what I thought it was. I thought she was living with like extended family or parents, and it wasn't. Yeah, yeah, her situation's just much different than I thought it was. But I feel like I was able to help her out. She did throw me $15 towards gas, which, granted, $15 doesn't go far with gas. I just dropped $46.33 topping it off at Costco. And it doesn't seem like it was that long ago that I topped it off at Costco, but you know, just been doing some extra driving around lately, and that uses up gas. So there we go. And then once I got home, I really wasn't. It took me quite a while to get back to sleep. So, of course, when my alarm went off, I was stupid tired. So, I hope I don't. Whoa, Jesus. Looked like that guy was speeding up, and then suddenly he slowed right down. And it's so hard to see the traffic in front of me with the glare of the sun. I'm so ready to be off this freeway and not driving directly into the sun.
Here's what you need to know right now. A private Christian school in Nashville has become the son of the nation's latest.
Yeah, I'm so tired of hearing about school shootings. That's the first time that I've heard that part. Yeah, it was interesting. I saw a YouTube video talking about that shortly after it happened yesterday. As I was trying to get back to sleep after getting home from driving Malika around, and people in the comment sections were talking about, we're trying to sort out whether it was a woman who identified, whether the shooter was a woman who identified as a man or a man that identified as a woman. But they just clarified on the news that it was a woman who identifies as a man.
1,000 people approximately living there in that homeless encampment. And they've got 4 months to do it now. KTAR host and Valley Attorney Barry Markson says business owners have been saying, and they actually claim in this lawsuit, the city's done nothing to protect them against the violence and the drug use in that area.
The zone should no longer be there, and there should be a plan in place to place those people, the homeless people that are in the area, and to protect the businesses in there, including the enforcement of laws.
Yeah, which is one of the things that was highlighted. the plaintiffs in this case, who are business owners and property owners in the zone, said the city has not been enforcing numerous criminal statutes there. They've allowed drug use to go on, prostitution and violence. There was a couple of murders down there recently. One was a woman shot and killed. Another one was a man beaten and then burned in a dumpster. And this has got to stop.
Priscilla sent me a link to a story about the dumpster fire.
To disband the zone
Really
by
killed the
July
guy in a
10th.
dumpster and lit him on fire.
Noted that the vast majority of those living in the zone are service resistant. In other words, most of the people in the zone are not interested in receiving homeless services. They don't want to accept it, whether it be financial, housing services, help getting a job, because
they want to live like
this is
that.
interesting. Most people, the vast majority of people who are homeless at this moment will not be in 12 months from now. That's an official statistic here. But the chronically homeless is a different situation. And I recently joined the advisory board of an organization called the Homeless ID Project. They provide ID documents to people because you have to have them to get off the street. You have to have ID to get a job. You have to have
That's
ID
a good
to get
thing.
an apartment. You have to have ID to get anything, right? And so they provided thousands and thousands of documents last year. But the director of the Homeless ID Project was telling me, as he's watched the zone grow, and it's right across the street from where they are located at the Human Services campus, as he's watched that thing grow to 1,000 people, he has not seen that kind of a rise in ask for his services. So, you know, I guess you could say that's anecdotal, but the fact that these people continue to live right across from where all sorts of services are provided to the homeless, yet they remain homeless, is a sign that some of them are chronically homeless.
Yep, that's absolutely true. Hey, by the way, Jim.
Yeah, the only service that most of those people want is free food. Get their free lunch, get their free dinner. Other than that, they just kind of hang out and live in their tents and do their drugs and, yeah. I kind of want to hide a camera on me and go down there and kind of pretend to be one of them and see what that's like. Go have dinner at the Andre House or something. I mean, there was a time I was homeless and I did regularly eat down there, but that area it was bad then, but it's a whole other world now. Certainly they weren't burning bodies in dumpster fires back then.
Thank you, sir. Looks like all the west side freeways are starting to get a taste of all those brake lights, and at the same time, the east side gets a pick and choose right now.
Anyway, I don't really have much more to say. Thanks for coming with me on the drive, and like and subscribe if you find it amusing listening to me talk to myself. And I'll be back with more later, of course. And hopefully, I'll have time to get to the court and actually get a copy of that court order regarding the zone, so I can get into a little more detail about it, because I'm certainly very curious how this is gonna pan out.